Morning, everybody. Okay, if you are able to open up your chats, I have sent through a Win Invoicing Training Part 1 PDF. It is just samples of the supplier documents which we have that we also use to train our clients with. So today we are literally going to be going in depth, training you guys, I think probably I can call it in-depth invoicing training session. So we're literally going to get to the root of you guys manually invoicing without retrieving the vouchers. However, we will also show you guys how you will be retrieving the vouchers. If there's anybody who's got a problem with hearing me, please send us a text so that we can, or a chat, so we can actually check what could be the problem. And if everybody is ready, we'll be starting in the next 2 minutes with the training session. And welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks, Ruben. Hello, Tawana. Now I know how to pronounce your name. Hello, Tawana. Hi, Brenda. Yes, we can definitely try and get the recording of this training session. I've noticed that I've done a couple of training sessions, so we'll probably have to do team viewer so we can do a file transfer, because I know the size of the recording is quite big. So after the session, you're more than welcome. We can have a team viewer. I think, okay, no, wait. The training sessions are saved on our cloud server. So I'll have to arrange with Dedre just to help us with transferring that file to your local desktop or wherever you want to save it, okay? But it is, we can actually do the recording. Okay. Morning, everybody. It's a bit strange. These training sessions, I've always found them a bit strange because it's like you're talking to yourself. I would appreciate all good here and there, but just so that we know that you guys are actually comprehending what we're training you, or if there's any questions, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself, and literally just ask a question, because at times things just, we proceed without acknowledging you because the chat is on my other screen. So please feel free to interrupt me at any point if you have a question. What we are going to be going through today is the setups in your invoicing module. We know that there's some people that have the front desk module. So please, people that have the front desk module, you'll recall from the training session that we had last week, any setups, if you do have the front desk module, they have to be done in the setup. The setups have to be done in the front desk module. But if you've only got the invoicing module with the other additional modules such as service vouchers or your car hire vouchers, please, your setups always have to be done in the invoicing module. So there's always a starting point depending on the modules that you have. We have a starting point for people that have front desk. They need to do all the setups in front desk But if you have invoicing, your setups will be done from the invoicing module. Okay, looking at that document that we've sent through to you guys, I'm sure some people are familiar with the setups, but we just have to accommodate everybody and show them how the setups are actually done. Okay, so in your invoicing module, to set up your clients or your leisure travelers, you need to click on setup. Oh, sorry, I don't think I've introduced myself to people that actually came late. My name is Twani, by the way, and I've got my colleague in the background who's my co-host. Her name is Dedre. So if you do find that I have a bit of a problem with my internet at times, if you do find that I'm gone for a second, Dedre will gladly step in and just assist, okay? So don't be puzzled when you hear two different voices. Dedre is my co-host, and I'll be the one doing the training today. Thanks a lot. Okay, so to do your setups, you will go into the invoicing module, which I have already opened, and I'm sharing the screen with you. If anybody doesn't see the invoicing module, please pop me a chat. Setup, in order to set up your corporate, you need to select corporate. And in order to set up the leisure travelers, you need to select leisures. And remember, in all the quick travel applications, we differentiate the corporates and the leisures by a different prefix. Some agencies might be using a different prefix, but the standard principles is that we use a D prefix for your corporate and the L prefix for your leisure travelers. Okay, so to set up a corporate, I'll select corporate. You'll see a long list of your existing or clients that have already been preloaded. You'll see that some are highlighted in red. And if you've ever wondered why some of the corporates are highlighted in red, those are clients that you have deactivated in your environment. So if you're also planning to do a bit of a cleanup, you only want to see the active corporates, it's best that you go in, deactivate them, but remember that the historic information will remain. So even if you do activate a client, all the information will still remain, but when you're doing either a voucher or an invoice, you won't see them because they're inactive. Okay, so you've got your shortcut keys in all the quick travel applications right at the top, but if you prefer the words, they're right there at the bottom. So you can click on the new button at the bottom to load a new data. All right, so I will go through all these tabs because some of you might be wondering, why does she have so many tabs open? It's not everybody that's going to have these tabs open, but I'm just going to go through the standard setup. Okay, I will explain some of the tabs, but I'm not going to go into too much details. All right. You never have to worry about what was the last number that was used because the system, the moment the system is able to generate the next available data or account code for you, the moment you click on tab, it's going to give you the next available number. So you'll never have duplications or the same client having the same account number. By clicking on the tab key, it will generate the next account code for you. And in all the QuickTrav applications, for people that have never worked on QuickTrav, in all the QuickTrav applications, any field that is highlighted in the slightly greenish or bluish color is a mandatory field, and anything that is highlighted in white is an optional field. Okay. I'm just going to do Quality Street per the document. Oh, if only I can type today. Quality Street. CC. So this will be the name of the corporate that I'm loading. If the corporate belongs to a certain group, I'll be able to actually link that corporate to a group. The best way I can advise you guys or explain when you're working with groups, think of a big company such as Bidvest. They've got a cleaning division, they've got food services, they've got car rental. So if you ever create Bidvest as the holding group, but you want to link all the subsidiary companies or all the subsidiary divisions to that group, you are able to group it in your QuickTrav application. Okay, the consultant is literally the person that is loading these details. The VAT registration number of my corporate, which I'll just quickly type in. Please, if I do miss a digit or so, please excuse me. Okay, and there are certain agencies that have more than one division, and this will be applicable to them. All right, you've got your telephone number field, which is running horizontal. Your
Hi everybody, this is Deirdre. I think I've lost Swanee there. Yeah, she seems to be gone. Let me just quickly try and get her back up and see what happened. Give me 1 seckie. Sorry about this. Otherwise, you're stuck with me. 2 seckies, eh? Swanee, my babe, so you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Ah, you gave me a heart attack there. I was like, sorry about that. Thank you. Floor's yours again.
Okay, so now I was still busy with the setup. If this does happen again, I'm sorry, I will have to excuse myself because I don't want you getting the interruption or me losing connectivity affecting the training quality. I will have to hand it over to Deirdre. I really do apologize for this. Okay, so it's your content that you have to fill in. I'll just do 1, 5, 6, 8, 1, 5. Your postal addresses and your physical addresses. What I always say is garbage in, garbage out. If your consultants decide to put garbage in, please be aware that you will get garbage out. Or whoever's loading these details, if they do just put in information that's not true, you will get that information as you're preparing your documents. Okay, so your physical address, I can literally just copy this just to save time. Is there any questions from a setup point? Okay, there seems to be no questions. Okay, so you'll see that I have more information as you see the tabs that I've actually activated. Please note that these are actually switches within the PicTrav application. Okay. Right. In your billings tab, this allows you to actually activate an order number to be forced for anybody that is creating any documents. It can be a voucher, it can be an invoice, but if you want the consultants or accounts department to populate an order number each and every time they're raising a document for Quality Street, you can actually force them or make it a mandatory field that should be populated. So if you want to force your order number in your billings tab, right there at the top, you've got the option to force order number. We know that a lot of people don't get paid if they do not have an order number. So it's actually quite useful that you force the order number, and it will prompt whoever's issuing either a voucher or an invoice to populate that field before actually proceeding. They can put garbage in, but at least the system has reminded them to actually put that information in. Okay. I hear a bit of background noise. I can imagine how it might be a bit disruptive for other people. Jojo, do you just mind, would you mind just checking for me and if we can mute? There's one person who's got some background noise.
I've done it for you, my dear.
Thank you so much. Okay.
You're most welcome.
Right. We're not going to go through majority of these things because these are training sessions that we
Swanee, sorry. I think I muted you by mistake. I'm sorry. Please unmute yourself. Sorry. I got overzealous. There was a mute all button and I was like, cling. Okay. Sorry, my baby.
No, that's fine. I hope everybody can hear me. Okay, I'll assume the silence means that everybody can actually hear.
Yes, we can, Sunny.
Okay, thanks a lot. All right. So now you'll see that further down, you've got your information that's also available in your main module. Okay, so in your main module, this is where you are able to literally modify your statement, which I'm also not going to go through because we've got the main module session that's going to be happening in a few weeks' time, including your credit control, which is going to be happening in a few days' time. Okay, but this is just additional information that you are able to capture against that specific client. Force verification. Okay. The force, Jay Buck has just asked, what does the force external verification voucher do? That is actually for clients that are on paper trail. So when you are using paper trail, there's an external verification number that you need to capture. So that field is only applicable for people that are actually using paper trail. So in order for them to capture that external reference number, they need to make sure that verification field is activated. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the individual contacts tab, which is something that we're also going to go through as we do the setup in the future, the other training sessions. Individual contacts is literally the people within this corporate that are meant to receive documents. You can literally decide who's meant to receive invoices, credit notes, statements, whatever documents they are meant to receive. You can load them as individual contacts. And we'll actually be going through this this tab when we set up the auto emailing, because anybody that's actually been set up to be a recipient of these documents, we will then set up the system to auto email those documents through to them. Now the references, please, if I'm going too quickly, please just stop me in the middle and say, Tony, just go a little bit slow, okay? The additional references, you'll find that we've got additional references. We've got up to 10 additional references that can be activated in QuickTrav. This is exactly where you'll actually come and activate those additional references. So if you've got more than, you need more than these fields which have already opened up, activated, that needs to be done in the branch setup. Okay, your benchmark, your credit benchmark, we've got a training sessions for activating benchmark. So remember that benchmark is client specific. So this is why you will find the benchmark fair in this specific corporate. If you were to activate benchmark, then you would be able to actually activate it against a specific corporate. Okay. If you have to load any credit card details, whether it's their large card or any credit card against a specific client, you are able to do so. And remember that our system is PCI compliant. So if a hacker had to actually go into your system and hack the system, whatever the case may be, touch wood, it won't happen. But if anybody had to actually hack your system, they'll never see the full credit card details because it will be encrypted. Okay. You can also load any notes against the specific corporate, any logs, and also the invoices that we would have done against the specific corporate will be under the invoices tab. So we've literally just loaded the generals tab, which is what we are doing today, your general setup. Okay, another information or another field which I haven't mentioned to you guys, you are able to load a contact person for that specific corporate and their email address. Additional information such as their year-end and their logo if applicable. Okay, we can click on save once we're happy with that, and the same steps will follow when you have to load your leisure traveler. You'll click on setup again, clients, and select your leisure traveler. But remember, leisure travelers don't have so much information, so it will literally be straightforward. You're not going to have all those other tabs activated, okay? But it's literally the same information. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll assume that we're all good. All right, yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay, so now to also set up your suppliers, remember setup, I always say, think of setup, any setups that have to be done will be done under setups. Okay, so we often preload the air principals for you because it's everyone that uses the same airline codes, such as 083 for SAA or 125 for British Airways. But the problem comes in, when you, sorry, I've just read a text from Badia, a chat from Badia. I have the light version and don't see the credit card options. Badia, as I mentioned earlier on, you do have this functionality available. It is only a switch. So if you would like to activate the credit card option for your clients, we are more than happy to show you where you can actually activate it. But irrespective of the large or the full version, everybody has the same invoicing module. It's only your main module that is different. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Going back to setup, sorry about that. Going back to your setups. Now you're responsible for loading your land principals because it's not everyone that uses the same B&B or the same hotel or the same car rental. So it is your responsibility that you manage your database and you load your database and deactivate. As I've mentioned earlier on, it's good to have a cleanup once or twice a year of any land principles that you guys are no longer using. So it's actually good to keep whatever principles are active as active principles, which whoever you're not using, rather deactivate it, because that keeps your database cleaner. Okay, and remember, this register can be exported into Excel. So this is another way I often find that some people have duplicates. So you find that somebody set up a Protea Hotel Midrand using PHM, or another one will set it up using a different code. So this could be another way that you guys, in this quiet time, use this time in a good way to actually clean up your suppliers. Because remember, the historic information will be there, but you're literally just cleaning up your suppliers and making sure that you have you're cleaning up the duplicates. So you can do that by right-clicking, export the current view, and you'll export it to Excel, which I'm not going to do because I don't have Excel in this machine, sorry about that, but you can actually do a cleanup of your suppliers. But going back to the reason why you guys are here, to actually do the setup. So to set up a new principal, you click on Setup, select Principles. To load a new Air Principal, you can select Air Principal, and to load a Land Principal, you can select Land Principal. We have a question in the chat. I'm just going to quickly open that up. And the lawnmower had to come today. Sorry about that. Okay. Can you block consultants from loading suppliers as duplicates happen? Yes, you can. Definitely, you can block your consultants. It's not everyone that has the same authority level to actually load, but if you've given them the level which allows them to load land principles or air principles, you're not able to control it. But the moment you give them a lower level which doesn't allow them to create any new suppliers, that's another way that you can actually manage or avoid any duplications, because then maybe accounts department will be responsible for loading the suppliers, but you are able to block them. Daniel. Okay. To load your new land principle, you've still got your new buttons. Similar, remember there's uniformity in all the quick drive applications. So with the land principles, this is why we say it's advisable that it's always done by accounts department, but I know that there's ITCs here, so you would be responsible for loading your air principles. You always have to assign a 3-letter code for creating a new land principle. So we always suggest you can use the three first letters of the land principles, but the system, the moment there's a duplicate, the system will tell you that this land principle has been already created. I'm just going to go through that template that we sent through to you guys, because I know I've already got Europe car already loaded. I've got Avis already loaded. I'll maybe just load Susie's guest house, just as a fictitious one. Okay, so I'll do SUZ for oh well, Susie's guest house has already been created, so that's the nice thing about the system. It is able to give us a warning to say that that person has already been created. Let me do LUH. Okay, so I'll give it a name, Luhan's guest house. Sorry, obviously my mind is not, I'm thinking about other things, just to say the least. Okay, back to the chat. Brenda has just asked, how do we add the BEE tab? Okay, Brenda, I've activated BEE, sorry, because now I was testing something for a client. The client actually wanted to make sure that they link the BEE level for a specific supplier. So that is also a setting within your quick drive module, and I've made it a compulsory fill. So I'm just gonna put this one as a level 1 BEE. But literally when you're setting up your guest houses, you guys won't see this BEE level. I've just got a switch activated that prompts me to actually complete what level or what BEE level the supplier is. Okay. You have to always link the service type. So you'll select or assign the 3-letter code. Remember that this also goes to your GL, full name of the creditor. What service are they offering to you? Is it Do they offer accommodation? Is it buses? Is it car hire? So it's always advisable to link the correct service type to the land supplier. Again, if they belong to a group, let's say a proper example would be Protea Hotel Group, but you are setting up the Protea Hotel Group for Protea Hotel Midrain, Protea Hotel Limpopo, whatever the case may be, you are able to set up Protea Hotel as the main group and actually report on this group as well, link it to that group as well. Okay. If they belong to a specific division, you are able to do that, link the specific division, and the consultant details will be the person that's actually loading the land supplier. Okay. Your telephone numbers, well, not your telephone numbers, the telephone numbers of the establishment, I'll just do 012. Okay. Postal address, which is also a mandatory field. And I'll just copy this because I'm just lazy to type today. Okay. But you literally have to put in the correct details because remember, the information that you populate here, that is the information that will print on the voucher. So you've got your contact and you've got your email address. Okay, so you've got cell phone contact and you've got a contact field and you've also got the email address field. Okay, so you are able to put the additional information there. As you move to your externals tab, this allows you to put in information such as your VAT registration number, the GDS code, very important if some of you have already joined the Quick Travelsoft integration. The property code is something that's going to be very important as we go into the future, because in order for you guys to issue from the Travelsoft, Quick Travelsoft integration, you will definitely need the property codes. So if you guys are looking at using TQI in future, best thing would be start filling in the property codes. Obviously, this would be from your GDS. If you are using Galileo, you'll get the property code. I think it's a 5-digit property code from the GDS. And if you are using Amadeus or Sabre, you are able to populate that information as well. You can populate the banking details as well. And this is for the guest house. So you don't have to repeatedly ask them for that information. Okay. The billings tab, it is literally just to stipulate if you are getting any com, if there is any com that you earn from the supplier, or, and the other thing is that you need to specify the method of payment that you're paying the supplier. Are you paying them cash, which is COD, or do you have an account with them, which will be monthly? I'll just stipulate COD. Every time you do the setup, please, it's quite important that you put a little tick in the client tax invoice field, because this is literally to say that you are acting on behalf of the supplier. You'll see that the moment you don't put a tick in that client tax invoice field, when you're raising an invoice, it doesn't pull through the VAT. Okay, so the moment you pick that up with one of the suppliers, just go back into the setup, make sure that the client tax invoice field does have a little tick in there so that the system is able to calculate the VAT, because you are acting as a middleman. So you're still raising the invoice, although your supplier has given you the invoice, you need to raise it to your client. Okay, so that's the idea behind, or the reason behind this field. And all you do once you're happy with that supplier, you are able to save it. So you can still load notes. You are able to see all the invoices against this respective client, but that's additional information. So you can click on save. Okay, I have to put in a VAT registration number. I'll just put in no VAT number. Okay, any questions with the setup? Okay, doesn't look like there's any questions. If you can refer to the document that we've shared and have a look at page 5, I'm going to go through our first ticket. So we're going to start invoicing out. Okay, I'm going to go through the air ticket. In most instances, a lot of people make use of automatic invoicing, but we need to show you guys how to also manually invoice out those air tickets. Okay. So to invoice out your air ticket or to do a manual invoice, you've got file and you've got new invoice. Okay. So the new invoice screen, remember that this is going to be based on the period that you're in. So please just never, just ignore mine because mine is a bit outdated. The period that you'll be in, which is obviously the date that you're raising this invoice in, the consultant's details, and the client's details. So if you were doing your invoice, you're doing an invoice for a leisure traveler, you can change the prefix to L, but if we're doing one for data, we can actually leave it. Or please resend the document. Okay, no problem, but yeah, we'll share the document again. Okay, so if we were doing one for leisure traveler, you can change the prefix to L. If you're doing for a data, you can leave it a D. The moment you click on the drop down, it's going to show a list of all your corporates. Same thing would apply if you've actually selected L. It will show a list of all your corporates, your leisure travelers. Okay, I'm just going to select buildings. I've got an order number activated against that corporate. I'll just put in a fictitious order number. Right, so on page 5, I've got an air ticket. Okay, there's just a question that's come through on to the chat. How do we find duplicates? The system doesn't allow us to search by addresses. Okay, definitely VLOOKUP is going to be the best way that you guys are able to search for duplicates. I think the telephone numbers as well, Brenda, the question was from Brenda. The telephone numbers is another way that you'll be able to search, even the property code. So I think definitely VLOOKUP would be something that will benefit you just to do a clean up on your suppliers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the new invoice. Preparing a new invoice. In all the quick travel applications, as we've mentioned before, you've got your new key and you've also got your shortcut key. So to invoice your air ticket, you'll select the little aeroplane. To invoice a land supplier, we'll select the little house. The additional information will be for your ADMs, for your service fees, or if you are doing credit notes, okay? But in this instance, we are trying to do an invoice for an air ticket. Okay, and this will be the manual way. I know a lot of people don't do it this way because you've got automatic invoicing, which is honestly the way to go because you don't want to be manually calculating what the airport taxes is because that information pulls through from the ticket file. Okay, but just to show people that are not familiar with manually invoicing, the first field, it prompts you to actually put in the ticket number. If you're raising an invoice for an EMD, you'll have to put a little tick in the EMD field so that it allows you to actually capture an EMD. But because we're doing an air ticket, I'll leave it blank and just put in the ticket number without the carrier code. So the ticket number without the carrier code would be the 3424673520. Okay, so in this instance, I'll just click on OK because I do want to proceed with the issuing the ticket. If you're issuing a conjunction ticket, remember that your conjunction ticket is the one that will have all the figures. So if you are doing a conjunction ticket, the first ticket will be ticket A with all the figures. The second ticket will literally be just for you to populate the rest of the routings, the last leg of the routings. Okay, so I'm not doing a conjunction ticket, so I can just remove that. The system also allows you to type in. Instead of you scrolling down, clicking on the drop down and searching for the air principal, you can literally just type in 083 or SAA. The system will take you closest to what you've actually typed. Okay, passengers details, which we will find on the ticket as well. Okay, so it's Miss Karine, Wilkins Karine. Okay. So service is it's already linked the service to a domestic air travel. If it is not a domestic air travel, you are able to change it. Okay, I'll move with my tab key. so that I'll be able to type the routings. Okay, so this is a Palabra to Joburg ticket. So I think I'll assume that the code is PHA. So I stand to be corrected in this case because I'm not familiar with the codes. So I'll just do PHA, JNB. Okay, the classes on the ticket. So with the classes, okay, it's actually, it's a return ticket back to Palabra. I was hoping somebody will say to me, Tony, it's a return ticket, but no one shouted at me, but it's fine. So literally when you're typing the routings, the system gives you the first /, then you will have to fill in or literally populate the other / if it's more than one root. Okay, the classes, I'm just going to type in KK as is. I don't have to put a comma next to it. You can type in the classes as is with no spaces. The travel date, I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, I've also activated the return date. So this is why you guys can actually see the return date on my system. Okay, I'll make it 6 of Feb 2019 so the system doesn't scream at me. Okay, so now your exclusive fare, based on what the ticket is saying, my exclusive fare is 3,007. Okay, it hasn't, I know why, the reason why it hasn't calculated that 15% for me, but I'll quickly calculate it. But remember that the system does actually calculate the 15% or the VAT on the fare for you. This is the only thing I miss about being in an office, having a proper calculator. 555, perfect. Okay, now I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with calculating airport taxes. No, yes? Okay, I'm gonna use, I heard somebody coming through. I thought somebody was gonna say something to me.
No, we're not. Please show us.
Okay. All right. No problem. Definitely. My easiest formula of calculating airport taxes, and I always say this because I have to go train students, and you find that you've got people that grasp things differently. I'll send you all the formulas, but my easiest way of calculating your airport taxes is your total fare, which if you're looking at page 5, you'll see that my total fare is 7022.97, less my exclusive fare, which is 3,700, less my ZV, which is 555. Okay, so in this case, my airport taxes is coming up to 2767.97. Okay, so the moment you capture your airport taxes, because this is when you're actually manually calculating them, the moment you capture your airport taxes and your client total is not coming back to the ticket total, there is something wrong. Okay, so that is like a red flag. You need to just go back to your calculations and make sure that you calculate it properly. Any questions?
An easier way to do it, Tony, would also to take your total of your ticket, and where you had, if you put the airport taxes at 0, you'll see that your client total will give you the actual total between the exclusive fee and VAT. So you can just do it that way as well. And just another trick I can tell you, if it doesn't automatically calculate your VAT for you, if you're looking at your ticket, you've got the airfare, and under taxes, if you look for the ZV tax, that is your VAT.
That's right. Quite right. 100%.
Okay, so you can actually, so that's just easy, quick ways to find things.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm not sure if we lost Sonia. I don't see any mouse movement. And yeah, okay, we did lose her. So we'll see if she's going to come back. Sorry about that. Looks like she's coming back. She's trying to connect. Otherwise, I'll take over this training session. I'll just give her a minute or so. Otherwise, so sorry about that. I know this whole internet story is a nightmare for her. She's waiting for fiber now for like months, and it's not coming. And it's like she's so close to the gate, and it's like, guys, how difficult is it for you to connect the lines? And of course, yeah, with this whole COVID thing, nothing is happening. Hey, I just want to quickly open up my document in case she wants me to take over. One seckie, sorry about this. I was busy preparing for the refunds. Is anybody coming and joining me for the refund section a bit later?
Yes, I'll be with you later, Deirdre.
Yay! I got some friends! Yay! And now I feel much better. Okay, dokes. Let me just quickly save my refund. Sorry about this. And then, yeah, I see someone who's just sent me a mail saying she's not getting in. I need to take over, it looks like. Right, guys, give me a second to prepare. I just want to continue where we left off. I don't want you to start all over again. Where's my share screening thingy, Bobby? There you go. Yeah, she's definitely gone. Dead like a duck. Share screen 1, and let's get into invoicing. There we go. Everybody, hi. Can you please tell me if you can see my screen, just so that I can see it? It'll have a Monday at the top. If you're all okay, let me know, and we'll take it from there. Okie dokie, where are we right now? We're busy doing ticketing, invoicing. I don't know where she's gone. I'm sorry. I'm playing with my own accounts here. As I said, I was preparing for the refunds, so bear with me. Sorry about that. And of course, I have to choose people with 5,000 things in it. Hey. Oh, come on. Okay, let's choose another client. I'm not going to go set up tables now. Oh, Deirdre, that just gets better. I thought I was choosing an easy one. Okay, employee numbers, regions. Remember, if it's a drop-down, then it's table-driven. If you don't know where to find that, let me know. I'll show you where. Cost center. And all right, here, new ticket. We were doing ticket number... Was it ending 530? Thank you. I'm assuming you guys said yes. I just saw a yes on my screen. P&R reference. Now I'm trying to see. Oh, there we go. SA TFSC. Guys, if you have a problem with your screen, okay, at the very top of your settings, it allows you to zoom your screen. Now, because I'm sharing, I can't show you what it looks like, but you have something that says full screen. So I'm going to optimize. Is it a bit bigger now for you, Charlene? Much better. Good. Sorry about that. Right, airline. 083, passenger's name. You can tell me some jokes, eh, if you want to unmute yourself whilst I'm playing catch up. Now, can you see I tapped in Karine Wilkins right here and it came up with something else? Is the screen suddenly blurred now, Emma? Was it fine before? No, I don't think I made your screen small. You probably, let's see, is it better now? Much better. Okay, guys, just remember you have some settings on your menu at the very top where you are able to go and increase the screen size and all of those kind of things. So at the very top of your screen, it has settings or zoom or view, something like that. If you click on it, it'll say, do you want to see it on 100%, 150, 200%, whatever, and it'll actually make it full screen for you. So just have a look and see if you can do that. Unfortunately, because I'm host now, I can't show you. Otherwise, I would have taken a screen dump and thrown it into the chat for you. But my screen is super big. I don't know, is some people seeing it bigger than normal? Is it okay for some of you? Because some of you saying you can't change. If you are one of those bright people He's got all these computer tech things going, and you can do a screen dump and you can share it for us in the group. That'll be awesome to show the people where to make it a bit bigger, like in zoom in, zoom out. I'll really appreciate that. But as I say, my screen is set on optimization for full screen videos, so it should be fine. Have a look. Otherwise, just play with your buttons that you have for your Zoom meeting. Okay, back into my meeting. Can you see here? I actually typed in Vulcan/Karin, and my system is now saying, listen here, why can I not find Karin? I'm only finding a Peter Smith. Does anybody want to quickly guess why that is? I'm going to give you 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, I'm going to tell you what it is.
D.
Yay!
I don't think you have Karin in your...
Yes, you're right there. In my what? In my passenger list for my debtors.
Yes.
Right. That's exactly it. For ABC trading, I told the system that, listen here guys, you will only ever work with a passenger list. Okay? And now my system is going to make me lose this invoice, but that's fine. Did you know that you can, in the middle of an invoice, go into that client setup by clicking on the 3 wise men? Simply click on it and get into the setup. And quite right, Tawana, you are 100% spot on. I did not have Karin set in here. And can you see my data setting is telling me that I'm forcing my name list? So if that thing is on and I get a new passenger and I try and invoice it, my invoicing is going to throw a tantrum like it just did. And it's going to say, listen here, there's no name in this list. So either A, you're going to go and add Karin in there, or B, you're going to unforce this name from the list. Okay, now I can go and do that. By adding her in, I'm going to go like this. I can simply save her. I'm not going to talk about passenger name groups. You guys will join me on another session. We're trying to focus on doing invoicing only. So let's go and do this ticket again. But well done, Tawana. I'm very proud of you. Hey? System's complaining. Why? Because I haven't loaded ticket ranges. Guys, if I'm making up stuff now, I'm just trying to catch up on time. Hey, I know it's not right. And if it's wrong and you pick it up, shout out in the group chat and say, Deirdre, what are you doing? Okay, let's see if you're asleep or not. Now it finds it. Now it's happy. It's like, thank you very much for joining me. There we go. IATA number, select the IATA number, and the routing is Joburg, Palabora, PHW. I hope that's the right one. And there was another flight back to, it's Palabora, Joburg. Ooh, you? Are you guys checking me out or not? Because you're not saying anything that I'm doing wrong. Please, you must tell me, hey? All right, so have you already gone through classes with her? Yes, you guys were at the money values, hey? And Badia, I think you were helping us out with getting totals and all of that, right? Memory's still fresh? Yay!
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Good. Fare basis is KOW for Z. You all agree with me? Right, those are fine. My exclusive fare is then 3,700, and then my total, and now I have to open up this, which I'm going to drag here if you don't mind, just to make it a bit cleaner, so that we can all see what we're talking about. Our total is 7022.97 less 3,700 less my VAT, which was 555. Do you agree with me? So my total here for my airport taxes will be a total of 2,767.97. Did you also, do you know what I just did, or do you need me to explain again to you or show it to you in person so that you can see what it is all about? Quick shout out if you want me to show you again how I got those airport taxes quickly. No? Cool. So all I did is I took the ticket total, which was 7,022.97, less my airfare, which was 2,700 less my ZV tax, because my ZV tax is already specified because it's domestic. And the rest of it was the 2,767.97. Right. Now, you all know, and I'm assuming you do, that there's some VAT on certain taxes. Anybody, quick show of hands, do you know which taxes are VATable? If you don't, it's okay. I'm going to show you in any event. If you want to claim bragging rights, put it in the chat. Otherwise, this is it. Okay, now this is what my system has deemed to be VATable taxes, and there could be others like your DU tax as well, which will fall under our other one. But sometimes the DU is VATable, sometimes it's non-VATable, depending on the actual ticket, okay, and the routing. Right, our ZA total for this particular ticket is 236.75. Can you all see that on your report that we sent you, the manual? Do we have YR taxes, anybody? No. Do you agree with me? No YR. Do we have YQ? Yes, YQ tax of 2450. Do you have a UM tax? Yes or no? Yes, UM tax of 34 Rand. Okay, now please don't be scared and think that the system's now going to go add all of this 2,720 odd Rand. It's going to go and add it in here. It is not going to add it in here. The only time it comes to effect is when we print the invoice and it shows on your client's invoice. Okay, so it's not you having to put it in 5 or 6 or 7 times. It's really just you splitting it so that when we do our invoice and we print it, that the client can also go and claim the VAT of 354 Rand and 88 cents. Okay, so please go and put it in. I know it feels like it's a bit of a too much work and all of that nonsense, but please, people can claim this VAT. This is called input VAT. It's expense VAT. Your client can go and claim that 354 Rand from the receiver. And trust me, now with all this COVID going on, they want it. Okay, so once you've done, simply click on save, and as I say, it will show VAT included on taxes, but when you look at the client total here at the bottom, it would not add it in for you. Okay, so this is basically part of the 2,767 Rand. Right, now this ticket was paid by cash, and if you're not sure where to see the stuff, tell me and I'll open my screen and show you where to see it. I gladly will do that for you, no problem. And then my system, I have something called eNet activated, or internal credit card number 2. My system is expecting every single ticket to possibly be an eNet transaction, and that's why I've got credit cards in here at the bottom. So don't stress about that if you don't have that. It's just, as I say, we unfortunately have, or fortunately I should say, we have every single bell and whistle switched on in our invoicing system. And it's normally because of things like this. Now, at this point in time, my system's then asking me for commissions, and I don't see any commissions on here. So I'm assuming that this particular ticket has 0 commission. So do I leave it like this, or do I change it? Please, guys, change it. Keep it accurate, because every single amount in here will have an effect in your accounts department, okay? So it's not just affecting your client and the amount they owe you, it also affects the amount we have to pay over to BSP, our commission we are earning, and of course the VAT we have to pay on it. So there's a lot of accounting implications in the background. If it is 0, please change it to 0. Now at this point in time, some of you might not have published fares activated, and that's quite cool, but if I try and save this now, my system is screaming, saying, hi guys, I want a published fare. Where's the reasons? Where's the benchmark fares? Where's this? Yeah, it's such a pain on the butt. You only see that commission thing if you print your TINS report, or if you, what's the same word for Amadeus, guys? Help me out. What's that report that you run in Amadeus? Anybody on Amadeus that can give me the answer to tell me where do we see the comp? Thank you, Vanessa. 10 points credit to Vanessa. TJQ, there we go. Well done. Thanks, Vanessa. You just saved me there from something very embarrassing. Okay, so if you want to see those commissions, look at your TINS report or do that TJQ to see it and enter it in here. Again, as Swanee said earlier on, if these tickets were imported and they were in your ticket register at the top, I'll show, I think I have some tickets, and then when your ticket register, then obviously you wouldn't have to come and type in all of this by hand. Please don't, okay? Use your automated ticket register to do that. I'm just showing you if your TINS is down or your HMLD is down and your Galileo and Amadeus and Sabre and WorldSpan, all of that is down and those tickets didn't import, this is how you would do it manually, okay? And I'm honest with you, I'd rather go to the dentist than do this, but yeah, here we are and I'm showing you how to do it. Right, so there we go. Now, as I said to you, I've got published fares and benchmark fares. I'm not going to go into details about what that is all about. We have done some sessions on them. If you don't know what it is and you would like to have more information, please pop us a mail and we'll send you some documentation about that. All right, so now once I've done this and specified, my system is now going to be happy. And it's just saying, you listen here, hey, this travel date, are you sure you can do this as far in advance? Now remember, on all of your GDSs, you have got a limitation, and I think it's something like 336 days or something like that. If I'm wrong, correct me in the group chat, but I know it's not like that far, and I think my system's just saying, listen, you dudes, are you sure this is a legit thing? If you are, just tell it to say, shush, it's fine. Yes, it's okay. Right, and from here, of course, we can add on some service fees. Now, your service fees will already be preloaded for you. If you need to add any of those, they are known as commission types. And if you look on our website, you will find that there is a manual that tells you how to go load them. I'm simply going to say service fees. And at this time, when I click on the source reference is basically going to say, what do I want to link this service fee to? Is there anything, should I tell my client why I'm charging it? And I always say, guys, please, if you have these source references, link them. Tell this client this service fee is linked to a particular ticket. Okay, you don't have to, but when you pull reports for your clients, and your clients are going to ask you for a travel spend report, okay, this reference is going to become very, very important. Okay, trust me, they're going to harass you if you don't put it in. So always, if you can link it, and I can link it to this ticket here on the side here, please link it to that particular ticket. Okay, so this is my service fee. I'm linking it to the ticket, and the moment I linked it to the ticket, it already picked up my passenger's details. Can you see? So I didn't have to do it, and it also read the travel date. So in essence, it saves you time from having to do this yourself. Now, this is a normal service fee, and we're going to say we're charging a service fee of 150 Rand, excluding VAT. And you can see here, I've got standard VAT, and my system is nice enough to quickly add the VAT on for me to give me a total of 172 Rand and 50 cents. Now, what happens if I told the client that the service fee is 300 Rand, inclusive of VAT? Do I now have to bring in my calculator and go and calculate that 300 Rand backwards so that I know what my exclusive amount is? The answer is a big no. If I had to charge a service fee and it already included the VAT, what you will do, simply go into the client total amount screen, you can see there at the bottom, and type in the amount that you quoted your client inclusive of VAT. Can you see my system will allow you to enter either in the client total, which is inclusive of VAT, or in the exclusive amount and add it on. Okay, please don't think you only have to sit with a calculator next to you all the time to try and work it out. It's not necessary. Wherever you put the amount, my system is going to either deduct the VAT or add the VAT. Okay, so don't worry about having a you can have the calculator, but you don't need to have it in this instance. Okay, now let's get back to basics. I did say it was 150 Rand I wanted to charge, and of course now what we will do, and I'll try and see if there's an international one. Yeah, I'm hoping there's one. I'd see there's not, but please remember, on international tickets there is no VAT on the service fee. So if this ticket was for international travel, I would have changed my VAT to 0 rated. Okay, if you didn't know that, please make a big note. You don't need to give the receiver money all the time. Only on domestic travel do you need to have VAT on your service fee. If it is a ticket and it is for international travel, you will not charge VAT. Okay, and when we get to land arrangements and tour packages, I'm actually going to show you that there is then some VAT applicable, but no VAT on the service fees for tickets so far. All right, so this will be standard VAT. And of course now, again, I need to choose my payment method. Is it going to be cash? Is it going to be credit card? However it is, because my ticket is cash, I'm also going to go and select payment method cash in here. Once I'm done, I'm going to click on save. Now, do you ever, and if you say no, I'm going to tell you you're lying. Do you ever have a situation where you quoted a client a certain amount for a ticket, and then you got it for free, you got it cheaper? So instead of telling the client you got it cheaper, you basically just told him it was the same price? Did you ever do things like that? Don't worry about saying yes. This is not a confession. I'm not going to force you to say yes. Let's say I told Karine that the ticket was originally 8,000 Rand, okay? She said, I don't care. I don't care about cancellation and changes. And 8,000, I'm paying you the 8,000 bucks right now. She's paid you the 8,000 bucks. You went into your reservation, you made the booking, and you found the ticket for cheaper. In this case, you found the ticket for 7,000 Rand, and I sound like our previous president. Guys, this is embarrassing. For 7,022 Rand and 97 cents. Okay, you're not going to phone and say, Karine, I saved you money. This is COVID, guys. Sorry, it's time for us saving clients money and making them save money in their pockets over. We need to look at our own pockets now. You need to get this invoice total up to 8,000 Rand, but you told her there was a service fee of 172, so she knows the 172 needs to show. Is there any way that you can take this amount and up it to 8,000 Rand without her knowing? Anybody want to? Yes. Well done, Vanessa. Vanessa, you're on a roll today. I'm telling you, you're on a roll. You like the new Supergirl right now. Okay, the answer is a big, resounding yes. And I'm going to show you how. What I'm doing right now, in case you're wondering why there's such a silence, is I'm quickly working out what that difference is. And if you're wondering where I found it, there's my calculator. And I just said, all right, I quoted my client 8,000. My invoice so far is 7,195 Rand and 47 cents. The difference is 804 Rand. Now, I want this invoice up to 8,000. How am I going to do it? Easy. I am going to do it as a markup. Yes, Mandy, woo-woo! I'm going to do it as a markup, but this time I'm going to hide it. So remember 804 Rand and 53 cents. How do I do it? I go new, service fee. Yeah, if you have something called markup or whatever it is, maybe check in your office what they have. You choose that one. I'm going to choose service fee. Again, guys, I'm going to link it to my ticket. Do you agree? Because this is a markup on the ticket. Right. Now, very important. Do you see this little merge button here? If you want to hide it away in the ticket, the source, you're going to merge it and you're going to put in the amount. Okay. So right now, my invoice total is showing 8,000 Rand. Let's see what our client's going to see, because you will agree with me, we have 1, 2, 3 lines. Now, if I did this right, my client should only see 2 lines because I've merged. Oops, and here it is on the left-hand side, and I'm dragging it across. Can you see that this invoice only has 2 items? It has my ticket with a value of 7,827 Rand, as well as my service fee of 172 Rand 50. Nowhere does it say anything about the 804 Rand. Yeah, Vanessa will get to you just now. Okay, what happens right now is the VAT and the fare has got things hidden in them. So that 804 Rand 53 is split between VAT and the excluding amount. Okay. Please, guys, this little up arrow, it's very small. I know you can't see it all that good, but that up arrow will always tell you that this service fee is hidden somewhere. Okay, now to get back to what Vanessa said, and 20 points to you, Vanessa, for pointing it out. You were a bit too fast for me. I was hoping to get there, but you won the race, so yeah, you get the medal. Vanessa is quite right. This will work for cash tickets. If it's a credit card ticket, it is more complex. It is way more complex, because the first thing that's going to happen if you are going to do this on credit card is the question that you're going to ask is, okay, I'm issuing the ticket through IATA, so it's going to show IATA's on the client statement. It's going to say South African Airways, amount 7022.97. We then going to charge our service fee. Now, if we're transparent, we're probably going to swipe it in our office, right, on our credit card machine, which means we can still tell the service fee is in here. I can still change the service fee to credit card, and I can show that it is going to be done on our credit card machine, our SpeedPoint machine, which is the swipe. Or the third option is, are we doing it as a TASF? Now, does everybody know what a TASF is and how it works? Or do I need to quickly explain it to you? You've got 5 seconds to say, I want to know, or yes, we're good. Everybody knows. Okay. So you could also do it as a TASF. And what will happen is on the client's billing, you will have a ticket, and he will get a second charge that says IATA South Africa for the, okay, Brenda's saying, explain. Okay, Brenda, what a TASF does is it allows you to issue your ticket, and the airline is going to charge it, and it'll come onto your IATA billing. Okay. A TASF is you using your GDS, whether it's Amadeus or Galileo, to charge that service fee for you on your behalf. So what will happen is they'll still charge it for you, and it'll come through on your BSP billing. So you don't swipe the money physically in your office. You get IATA or your GDS to charge it, and it only comes through once your billing comes through. Okay, so there is a bit of a time delay. The good and the bad is, the good, it's going to say SAA and the ticket value of 7,022 Rand and 97 cents. The bad news is on the billing, it's not going to say SAA again. It's going to say IATA South Africa. Okay, and you're going to have to make up what that 804 is. I can tell you now, majority of the people I know, and I'm not trying to now tell you to be naughty, I'm just telling you what they're using. Use it, don't use it. I know this is going onto YouTube, so people are probably going to keep me at it. But a lot of people tell the people that if it says IATA South Africa, that is part of a tax. It's up to you to decide whatever explanation you want to use. It's not for me to explain to you or give you ideas. But yeah, they say it's a tax. It's not that easy, the markups or the merging, like Vanessa said earlier on, because the client will always see separate swipes. You'll never do one swipe unless you're one of those weird agencies where you will go and swipe the entire 8,000 Rand. So issue the ticket as cash, but swipe the entire 8,000 Rand so that you can then go and do this kind of manipulation. Okay, it gets involved and it takes some thought. Be careful with doing it for credit card. I'm not saying you can't, but just keep in mind there is some things in the background that will play fact to it. Okay. On this particular invoice, I'm going to stick to the straight and narrow. We're going to keep it onto SAA, and we'll keep the sticker as cash. But I hope I've explained it to you, Brenda. If I didn't, please pop us a message. And if we need to do a separate session on that, we can do so. All right, so this is basically what my ticket invoice will look like. I have added on service fees here. As you can see, I've hidden this 804 Rand away. My up arrow is telling me that I've hidden it away. My client is only seeing 8,000 Rand. Now, do you sometimes want to put something on your client's invoice? Have a nice trip. Please don't forget that check-in is 5 hours before. Don't forget you need a visa, whatever the case might be. In this message block we have down here, you can then go and put in an optional message, and it's really anything you want to say. All right. I'm gonna answer you now, Vanessa. All right, this is just what you want to appear on the invoice. So if I print it, now have a look at it. I'm trying to drag it and now it's not dragging. Here we go. Okay. If you put in a message, it will always appear here at the bottom. Now, if you're wondering what all of this is, these are all my 2nd through to 7th references, as well as my published fair savings, and we opted in our branch settings to print them on the invoice. If you don't see all these gobbledygook that I've got in here, please don't freak out. It's really just your settings that didn't ask for it to print. In the same breath, if you do want it activated, just go into those settings and tell the system that you want to print them on all your documentation. All right. Once you're done with your invoice, quite simply click on Save. And my system is saying here, listen, what are you doing? I have some line items here and it has some red values. Now, what you might or might not know is, as I said to you, we have everything and a kitchen sink in here. This little star is basically part of automatic service fees. So I've just gone in and thrown an extra whole sink at it because I have automatic service fees activated. And for those of you who's already joined us on automatic service fees, this screen will look familiar, but it basically will charge service fees for you whether you wanted to or not. It's a control thing, so the system can go and charge these service fees so your consultants don't need to remember to charge them. Unfortunately, mine is switched on, so my system just added it for me. I'm just going to take it off and delete it. Okay, you can deactivate it if you have a password. If you're powerful, wahaha, you can disable it. Right, let's try and save again. Vanessa, I'm going to answer you right now. Why is my printing thingy not popping up? Oh, it's dead! Hi.
Hi, Deirdre.
Hi, Brenda.
Just quickly, please. You know when you're talking about the settings to add in like your project number,
yes,
quote number, travel booker, how do you, just please take me through that. How can I activate it?
Okay. First thing you need to do is you need to go into your branch settings. So you can either go set up company branches or click on the little house there, that little suburb that's going on there.
Okay.
In the options, under clients, I know it feels like I just clicked on it, and under clients, can you see clients right here?
Yes.
You're going to look at 2nd, 3rd, 4, 5, right up to 10. You'll need to activate them. Okay, and to activate is very easy. Simply double click to activate and save. Okay. Now, when you say always allow, just keep in mind that if you have it on, it will force it for you. Okay. And I'm talking about these bottom ones. So they'll become green fields as opposed to the white optional fields. Okay, but that's how you do it.
Thank you.
Big pleasure. Okay, and then remember, if you then have to go one step further and go and put them in here under the reference tab. Okay, let's quickly go back to Vanessa. Vanessa is saying, if one has to swipe the whole 8,000 Rand, does it cause an issue with a free credit card insurance? Yes, absolutely. Why? Because it's no longer linked to the airline. It is a pain in the butt, Vanessa. I wouldn't recommend swiping the whole 8,000 Rand. Most of the agencies who does that, I promise you, are selling a separate insurance just to make sure that they cover the client for the travel. Because if it's issued on a card, they have the card number details already, all of that. So yes, check maybe with your insurance company if they will allow you to swap one big amount, and will they still use it as coverage. I know, I'm trying to think who they are. Is it Hollard? No, it's not Hollard. Who's the other one? Zurich. I think Zurich actually might allow it, but I don't want to say it's fine. It's not fine. Speak to your insurance people and ask them to please clarify, but I know there have been issues before. Okay, on the bigger ones. Alrighty. Guys, I'm not going to do another electronic ticket unless you all go, I want a ticket, I want a ticket. I'm now going to move over to car hire. and that is on page 12. I'm going to do an Avis car rental one for you so that you can quickly see what that is all about. Okay, everybody got page, sorry, it's actually page 6. My apologies, it's page 6. It's an Avis tax rental. It's for Mr. Hudson Finn, and my tax invoice number ends with 827T. All right. So let me get an account that hopefully is not going to ask everything in a kitchen sink. My booking number. Right. Now, all I did is I went into a new invoice, and at the top we filled in our header info. So if ever you hear us about talking about headers, headers is what always prints right at the top of our invoice. Now we need to add on this Avis car rental, and to do it we can either go to new or we can click on the icons at the top. Now you're going to say, Deirdre, there's only a little housey there. There's no car hire. There's no tour packages, nothing. Okay. We've basically gone and said, you can choose from air tickets, land arrangements, ADMs, service fees, and general documents. Okay, one sec here. I just see some people didn't get my file, so I'm going to share it with you again. I'm going to be friendly and nice. There you go, ma'am. Okay. Please keep in mind, anything that is not an air ticket and not a service fee will be a land arrangement, okay? And a land arrangement is anything from cars, hotels, tours, transfers, insurance packages, and the like. Okay, so Avis will fall under land arrangement. Let's go and have a look. At my land supplier, I now need to choose my supplier, and in this case, it's Avis. Can you see I simply typed up, and I'm hoping I've got Avis. Oh, I do. Thank heavens. I was worried. Okay. Choose Avis. Also use drop-down arrow. So one of two ways, either start typing or using your drop-down arrow. It gives you the exact same result. It's basically just you either taking your hands off your keyboard, moving it onto the mouse. Whatever is good for you, I promise is good for the system. Car hire, and automatically it assumes that most of Avis stuff is for domestic travel. Now, is Port Elizabeth domestic? Yes, it is, so we keep it on domestic. If it wasn't, please change it. Again, if you don't correct your invoices, the reporting is going to be totally screwed up, and your client is going to probably scream at you. Okay, we don't want that. My passenger's name is the renter. In this case, it's Hunter, Mr. Hudson, Finn Hudson, and our travel dates, woo, guys, we're a year behind, is the 8th of March. Avis car rental. Do we have a voucher number? In case you know where to find the voucher number, do you want me to show you where I get the voucher number? Voucher number? There's my voucher number, V044597. Can you all see it here? That is where I got that voucher number. I don't know if it's sharing. Let me just stop sharing. And I'm going to do this because I just realized I only shared one screen and not both. We're going to go like this. Okay, so can you all see voucher number 455, whatever the case might be? Kill beans. Right, let's go invoice it. I'm just going to drag it back again to the left side because I use it. So voucher number is V04455799. I'm doing manual. I'll show you how to retrieve in a second. Okay. This is only if you don't have accommodation and car hire vouchers, or if for some reason you didn't do this voucher in the invoice, in the voucher or car hire system. So this is purely manual. You maybe did it late at night and you had to write a little paper one because your guy was traveling, whatever the case might be. Think of a good reason, and that's the case. Now my tax invoice number, whoopsie, is this okay here? Can you see E537? That is my physical invoice number. So let's put it in. E5371008227T. Okay. Is it important to put in that T? Absolutely, guys. If you don't put in that T, my system's going to see it as a unique reference and it will never do what it's supposed to do. Okay, now I'm not going to keep on dragging over and down. I'm going to ask you to, and if you do, tell me, I'll show you. But can anybody tell me what the total rental is for this particular trip? Can you see the 786 Rand and 14 cents? Yes? Cool. So that is the total. Now my system is automatically calculating the VAT, and my system is telling me that it has a VAT total of 102 Rand and 54 cents. Now, do you think the system is right, or do you think the system is wrong? The system is very wrong. Please note, the VAT on this entire trip is only 89 Rand and 34 cents. Now, do I keep my system the same, or do I go and change it? Please, guys, it is wrong. Hi, Daniel! It's very wrong. You need to change it. Quite right. So let's change it. 89 Rand and, was it 34 cents? My brain's like a peep. It forgets everything. Sorry. Where's that? 89.34. Okay, I did that right. Okay, so if I then work back, it comes back to 696. Okay, how many days rental do we have? 1 day. Can you see there it says 1 day? 1 day, and my rate is 526 Rand and 32 cents. So 1 day, 526 Rand and 32 cents. Can you see I'm really just capturing from my invoice? Okay, now a lot of people are saying, Deirdre, this is white. I don't like white. Why must I type in white? White means extra work. The system's not screaming about it. There's no reason for me to put it in. Why should I put it in? The simple answer is, if your client ever phones you and says, I want to know how many days rental I had or how many days I stayed over, this unit and this rate is going to be your savior. Otherwise, you're going to have to look at every single voucher and work it out manually. Guys, it feels like it's a lot of work. Get your, if you're not in the accounts department, get your accounts department to put it in, because as far as reporting goes, this is going to save you hours, if not days worth of work. Okay, so 1 unit, 526.32, and I got it from here. You can see here it gives me a rate here. That is quite cool. Did we get any moolah from them? We did. Not that much, but we did. Where do I see it? I've got commission revenue, 526.32, and it came to a total, oh, we're earning 7.5%. Yeah, they should give us a bit more. Okay, so the commission we earned was 39 Rand and 47 cents, and Mr. Receiver is getting some 5 Rands and 92 cents. Where do I capture this on my system? Quite simply on the right-hand side. My system is saying, oh, yay, woo, we're going to get 10%. No, system, we only got 39 Rand and 47 cents. Can you see how I'm ignoring his percentage and I'm putting it in the excluding amount? I'm quite simply telling the system that, listen, dude, this is what it is. It is what it is. Deal with it. And there you can see. It also calculated my VAT for me. Now, at the very bottom, it's giving me a total of 740 Rand and 75 cents. Does this balance to my supplier invoice? Yes. Okay, so good news. Client has to pay us 786 Rand. Yes. Good job, Deirdre. Check 1. Are we earning commission? Yes, we earn some commission. What is the amount we're going to pay the supplier? 740 Rand and 75 cents. And there you go. Okay. This balances 100% to the supplier invoice. Okay. And you can go pat on the back because you've literally given it every single detail that you possibly had. Okay. So well done for doing that. What do we do now? We save. Okay. If you don't have CO2 emissions, about kilograms and all of that, you don't need to stress about it. I have it activated. As I said to you earlier on, you're going to see stuff that you don't have. It's not a train smash. I have CO2 emissions, so I have to put it in. And if you're wondering where I got it, I read it from the supplier invoice. Okay, once I'm done, save. Again, if I want to, I can add on service fees or anything like that. All right, I'm not going to add on a service fee. I've shown you how to do them before. If you really want it, then pop a mail and we'll do that. And this is how you will load a car hire voucher. Right. Once we're done, system's going to save. And final check. Are you sure this is what you want? So it's asking you 3 times to double check. If you're happy, simply click on save. And this is what it looks like. Putting it across. There's your invoice. Mention of the carbon dioxide. Why? I have it activated. If you didn't have it activated, you wouldn't see it. And then at the bottom, sorry, I'm going to give back. Here at the bottom, it just tells you when was the date and the time and who printed it. And then if your supplier is set to COD, my system will automatically create a remittance advice for you, which you will go and give to your accounts department to say, guys, please pay Avis. Okay. Obviously, this is probably more applicable to your tour operators, such as World Leisure Holidays and the likes. But yes, it will print out a remittance advice, which your accounts department will then use to make sure that they pay the right amounts. Any questions about car hire? Half questions? Anything? Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to retrieve. Are we doing retrieval in this session? I'm trying to remember. Did I offer you retrieval in this one, or is it in the next one? Sorry, guys, I just want to see what we did promise you on this OK. Why did it not show VAT on the client's invoice? Oh, did you notice that? Do you want to guess why? Nushan, do you want to guess why? Anybody want to tell us why? Where's my invoice? Didn't we just do it now? I'm certain I saved it. Let's go in here. Maybe we'll find it here. Where's Avis Car Hire? Oh, there it is. There's no tick in the setup. Which setup? Whoever Travel Leaders is, you're right on the bang, but you need to give more answers. Oh, look at that, guys. Don't do that, hey? Don't ever do what I do. Don't, you must put in the details, hey? Quite right. You guys are right. There is no tick in the setup of the supplier. Thank you, Travel Leaders. 20 points credit to you. Well done. Right. They were saying, guys, we mentioned VAT here, but there was no VAT on the supplier's invoice. Did you notice it? Do I need to bring up that invoice again so that you can quickly see? Oh, it's not going to allow me to. All right, we'll do that. If these buttons in your land principal, if this thingy keeps saying client tax invoice, if it is not ticked, and can you see mine's definitely not ticked, not close to ticked. What will happen is even if I specified on my invoice like I did here on the left-hand side, if I don't have it ticked, it means I need to attach my supplier's invoice to my invoice. Why? Because my client will need to claim the VAT from my supplier's, in this case, Avis's invoice. Okay. Now this is pretty much a decision that every agency needs to make. I can't tell you the rights or the wrong, but what I can tell you is if I have this button ticked and I raise an invoice with my VAT, in this case, like you can see here where I said I'm going to issue it on behalf of my client. Oi, it's very angry. Let me just get rid of it quickly. Oh, cooks. Guys, please don't do this. Put in the real stuff, okay? Let's see if I now print it, if it's going to be nice with me. Can you see how one little button, that client's invoice button, how it's showing me VAT? If I have that, and I'm going to go back into that setting because you've all seen VAT now. I'm going back into invoicing. I'm going to show you that setting. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm using this to get into the setting instead of going set up clients, land, what. Okay. If you have this, Daniel, I'm not going to answer you now. I'm going to quickly finish what I'm busy with. If you have this button ticked and your invoice is showing that VAT, okay, that we had earlier on, please don't make the mistake of attaching your supplier's invoice onto your invoice, because you're technically giving your clients a chance to claim the VAT from your invoice as well as your supplier invoice. Okay, does that make sense of what I'm saying? So please, if the VAT is showing on your invoice, don't give the supplier's invoice as well. He can literally go and claim the VAT twice. If you don't want, if you still want, or he insists on having the supplier's invoice as well, make very sure that this button here that says client tax invoice, make very sure that that button is then not switched on. It must be deactivated. Okay. Please, something big to consider. Travel leaders, you are awesome, super, super awesome for picking that up because nobody else did. 50 points credit to you. We'll think of something for you to be rewarded on. Okay. Daniel is saying you do not have to do a credit note and re-invoice. You can just print again. Yes. Did you see I switched it on and I simply just printed it straight from here? You don't have to do a credit note. The minute you make that change, it will apply on all the other previous ones, providing that you actually then captured the VAT on the actual invoice. Okay. If you didn't, then obviously it's not going to start showing you VAT on old stuff because you never captured the VAT on the old stuff. Does that make sense? Everybody happy and okay with that? Yay, thank you. All right, I'm going to quickly show, no, retrieval's on the next one. Yeah, retrieval, I can see a retrieval of invoices and refunds. So we're just doing basic invoicing. Okay, so that is car hire. Jay Buck is asking, if you made any other mistakes, can you still change without a credit note? And the answer is, it depends. Okay, let's say ABC Trading. I did this invoice for ABC Trading, okay, and I made a mistake. The travel booker, it shouldn't have been 1231. It actually should have been a name, but I was in a rush and, you know, things get hectic. And I had to change that. The good news is anything in your invoice header, and this is where we talk about what's at the top again, guys. Anything in your invoice header can absolutely be changed without you having to make a credit note. So if there's no money involved, yay, I can do it. So let's say I want to change my travel booker. I'm going to go into this invoice like I have now, and I'm going to go to this button here that's magic. It's called Edit. Click on Edit. It's going to say, are you sure you want to reopen? You're going to say, absolutely yes. And now I can put in the real stuff. You know, sometimes we're in a rush and things happen or they give you the wrong stuff. Can you see how I change everything? So I'm changing. So now I've made some changes. I can now go, I can save it, and I can print it. And guys, if you're wondering why my print's not automatically coming up, it's a setting. Okay. What? That was a cheekiness. Oh, guys, ooh, sorry. This client preferred not to have it printed, but we did make the changes. I'll just go back. Sorry, I should have taken like a D1 or what. No, it was D1 we changed, didn't we? Where's all my stuff? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Okay, let's just reopen. I'm just going to reopen this, okay, to show you again. Sorry. Oh, that cost center supervisor, Joseph. Whoops. All right, 8590, save. Okay, let's go, yeah, let's print it again. No, that's 859. There we go. Can you see how it's changed it? There's my travel bookers. my names, all of that. Good question. Somebody's asking me, why does that invoice say copy tax invoice, or just copy tax invoice? Okay, this basically tells me that this is a reprint of my tax invoice that I've done. Now, I think, and you guys can just correct me if I'm wrong, I think there was something about the receiver saying they no longer will accept copy tax invoices. Am I right? It's a setting that we can go and switch off to get rid of the copy, and it's in your system settings. Okay, so if it's a copy, it basically means we've already printed this once. This is now the reprint of it, but you can get rid of that copy, if that makes sense. Okay, and it is a system setting. If you have the action authorities to go into system setup, you will be able to go and disable it. Okay. Shall we move on? Would you like me to show you how to invoice out an hotel like the City Lodge or the Sabi River Sun? Where do we want to go? All right, guys, I'm going to make a decision here for you. Right, can you please go to which page? Is this okay? No, don't do that. Ooh, I'm really trying to pull this across and now it's all over my menu. No, I don't want to save. There we go. Okie dokes. Let's say for instance, we want to now do the City Lodge Hotel. This is at OR Tambo right now. It's for demo travel. You can see here the date of travel was 16 to 17 January. We have some amounts here for accommodation, and it was 2 rooms, you can see there. We also have some breakfast, and the total bill came to a total of 7,358 rands and 12 cents. Okay, shall we go and do this invoice? Can anybody notice something weird on this invoice, or is it just me? The page number I'm looking at is page number 8 of 12, in case you want to look on your own screen if mine's too fuzzy. Do you see a problem with this particular invoice? And why can't we use it? Anybody want to take a wild guess? This is going for 1,000 points credit, no? I'll give you 10 more seconds, then I'll tell you. Time's up. There's no passenger name. Can anybody tell me if there's a passenger, or am I just blind? Nishan, you're quite right. It has no guest name. You were probably typing as I was telling you. Sorry about that. I think I get the credits because I was faster on the finger. You're welcome to unmute yourself. Guys, there's no guest name. Do you think we should still invoice this? No. You can't. You're going to have to phone this hotel and say, listen, your City Lodge, wake up. There's no passenger details in here. How am I going to report on a passenger called nothing, blank? Okay. I wouldn't even pay this invoice, to be very honest with you. So why I think this was us just testing you. Yeah, good one. Well done, Nushan. Right, so we're not going to do that okay, because clearly, why would we invoice something that has no passenger's name? It absolutely tells me nothing. It's as good as me going with my husband and saying, oh, we're going to stay there for how many nights? Okay. Next one, Sabi River Sun. Shall we look and see if they look decent and they want to tell us what's going on? Right, Sabi River Sun, we have a check-in date, we have a check-out date, which is quite cool. Do we have a passenger's name? Yeah, we do have a passenger's name. In case you're wondering, here's our passenger's detail. It's Vivaldi Antonio. Right, and they did some stuff, and they had some nice dinner. They had some VAT, all of that. Shall we go and attempt to invoice this quickly? Let's go see. I'm going to pull this to the left-hand side so that I can actually read what's going on. All right, now to do a new invoice, file, new invoice. Select your client. Capture whatever is necessary. Remember, white fields is optional, so you don't have to put something in, but if you do, it's always nice. Now, to add something on here, we're going to go New, and this time it's a land arrangement, remember? So open up a land arrangement, and our client is Sabi River Sun, and my luck, guess what? It's not loaded. So what does Deirdre have to do? Deirdre has to go load. Right, so setup, principles, land principles. We're going to go New. We're going to give it a code for the Sabi River Sun, and I'm hoping that one's not. You know you can do more than 3 characters, hey? Did you know that? If you didn't, guess what, you can. My group is Southern Sun. I'm hoping I've got them in there. I'm saying Soho, phone number, postal address. They don't have a postal address, so we're just going to say Main Sable Road, Hazy View, 1242 MPU. You're obviously seeing I'm reading from my invoice, right? So I'm not making things up. It's right at the bottom, guys, if you want to find the details. My next session is starting in 10 minutes. I better move my butt. Okie dokes. And what else do I have to tell? No VAT number, property number. Oh, they don't have a property number. Billing, we're going to pay them immediately. Now, you've already discussed this with Swanee, so I'm not going to go into that. Now, let's see if we can do the Swazi Rosa, Swazi River. Yay, it's there. What is this? Is this accommodation? Yes, it's for domestic. Anybody want to remember the surname? Vivaldi. That sounds like a composer, doesn't it? Vivaldi Antonio. There's our travel dates. 2302. Are you guys following me or am I going too fast? You need to tell me, hey? I'm literally just reading from the invoice. Can you all see it? I just need somebody to say yes so that I know I'm not going too fast. Okay. Supplier's invoice number. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all those yeses. Anybody want to guess the supplier's invoice number? Do you know where I got this? It says folio number / invoice number. Oops. See folio number / invoice number. Okay. You agree with me? Disagree with me? You're welcome to disagree. I like disagreements, eh? Not that I want to fight, but it shows me that you guys are thinking, and that's a good thing. Yay for them agree. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Nushan. All right, guys, what is our total? Our total on this invoice is 5332.43. Okay, my system has VAT of 695.53. Now, remember I said to you earlier on, we need to double check and make sure if it's okay or not. Do we agree with that VAT? Yes. Can you see? 695.53. So what do? Pat on the back for quick. Woo-woo, quick. You worked it out correctly. Okay. Now, how many units do we have here? Anybody want to take a guess? 5 seconds. Well done, Nushan. Nushan, you are raking up the points, dude. Well done, Mariette. It is 3. What is our unit rate? Our unit rate is 1701. You guys are getting very good with this now. I'm getting worried. I'm going to be without a training job soon. Okay, system then tells me that, listen here, we should be earning commission of 5,103, or commissionable amount should be 5,103. I wish we could make that much commission, but we don't. And on the right-hand side, my system is saying we are earning 10% commission. Guys, did we earn any commission on this thing? If you look at the invoice is saying absolutely no. At this stage, there's no mention of us getting any commission. What is the best practice? Phone the hotel, find out if they're giving you commission. If they are giving you commission, get that commission amount and go put it in your supplier setup so that it has a default. You see here on my side, my system is assuming it's a 10% default. But if they're not giving you commission, please don't go and claim commission on here, because your net effect in the background on your creditor and your income is going to be wrong. Okay, if they did not give you commission and they did not specify commission, make your commission 0. Okay, I know the city lodges are saying commission 0 and then you send them an invoice afterwards. It's probably going to be like this with most of your suppliers, okay, that you'll have to do. Change your commission to 0 and double check that your due to supply amount actually agrees to the supplier's invoice. Once you're done, click on save. I'm not going to go on to CO2 emissions because I have no clue how much breathing he did. I don't know if he was snoring. I don't know if he did farting. I'm not going to even touch commission, the CO2 reporting. Okay, once you're done, simply go add service fees if you need to add a service fee. And we'll make it 300 Rand inclusive of that. Okay. Any questions? This, in essence, is invoicing. It sounds dreadful to say this, but the more you do, the better you become, the faster you become, the more you'll understand. We've obviously given you some supplier examples in that PDF spreadsheet we gave you. I know everybody has, or somebody has asked for recordings. They are recorded into the cloud. What I will do is I'm going to put up unedited versions onto YouTube. If you want a recording of this, please pop us a mail, sales@quicksoftware.co.za, and just say recording invoicing part 1, and I'll send you that link. I don't know how long it's going to take for YouTube to upload it, but we will send it through. And if you want to go look at it, you can, because now at least you have the supplier invoice, so you can see where we got the information if we were going a bit too fast for you now. Any questions about normal invoicing that you'd like me to go through that we didn't do? I have about 5 minutes before my next session starts. Any questions? If you have no questions, then I suggest you go grab a cup of coffee, quickly drink it, and then I shall see you in 10 minutes' time. We're going to do retrieval and especially important, the refunds. I'm going to take BSP refunds and I'm going to show you how we work from the BSP billing on refunds. There seems to be a lot of confusion about how to do refunds. So we will do about 7 refunds just to make sure you are all okay. All right, guys, sorry about Swanee missing her connection and dropping it. I know she's had problems. She's very frustrated. She loves this training and she obviously can't do it the way she wants to. But thanks for joining and thanks for sticking out with us. We do appreciate it. And then we will see you at the next session. Have a good one. See you in 10 minutes. Bye-bye.